What has surprised you about AI?
I've been vibe coding a game, and my son will just like say like, "Can we change the color or make the avatar do this?" We will do it in real time together. He's 5. A lot of times when you see this AI content, it seems intimidating. So before there was cars, I would imagine that there were a lot of people riding horses. To me, it's not so much the fear of my exact job going away. It's more of the fear of not understanding what these tools are and what their implications are because I find them exciting.
Why do you think this year was its breakout year? I've known you, how long have we known each other? Like
Almost 10 years, I think.
almost 10 years, and we've worked together. And it's not only that we worked together, it wasn't like we just worked somewhere together, but
Yeah.
we built an entire venture fund together
Yep.
during incredible times. I mean,
Yeah.
like really incredible times. So it's just so cool to see you. But I wanted to have you on because you're doing some very interesting things with AI, and you're doing it from such a practical way. But it's also like affecting your work. And I don't know, I just wanted to kind of dig in to get into your head a little bit about how you're using AI and what you think about it.
Yeah, so I'm Christy Pitts. For work, I run corporate and business development at a company called Panasonic Well, which I think needs a little bit of explaining because a lot of people know about Panasonic. I think about it like when I was growing up, my favorite song was Anky Breaky Heart, and I had a
Okay.
Panasonic boombox, and I would listen to Inky Breaky Heart on the boombox because my aunt made me like a cassette tape with multiple, like it was just on repeat.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm saying that because a lot of people have an understanding of Panasonic based on consumer technology, probably hardware. And
Yeah.
Panasonic, and that's for one main reason is that Panasonic hasn't been really investing in consumer brand here in the US for a few decades. So now we have Panasonic Well, and we are investing in consumer products and specifically products that we're building for family wellness. So our
Mm.
focus is on helping families move more, sleep better, eat better, helping people in the family like recharge themselves, and then also helping families connect better or like spend more quality time together. And so that's what we're building at work. I do corporate and business development at the company. So that's partnerships, investment in startups. It looks like integrations and other kinds of partnerships. We launched a community called the Panasonic Well Partner Collective with All Trails and Calm and Groupon and AARP. So that's what I'm doing for work. And AI is really a big part of what we do because it's a part of the innovation story at Panasonic. And we have a new product coming out called Umi, which is an agentic AI family chat product that we
What
announced.
it, explain what agentic AI, what that means.
Yeah. Okay. So when an agentic AI basically means it's an AI that can take action. And
AI agent, right? Like, because
exactly,
we're learning about that, AI agents. So
exactly.
it just means that type of thing. Yeah, cool.
Yes. And in this case, it's a chat, it's a an agent that lives inside of a family chat experience. And you can go right now to joinumi.com and you can see a little video that has a demo of it and what it looks like. And it's going to be out soon.
And when you say family, when I think of, because I think of you and your children, I think of kids, but you just mentioned AARP.
Yeah.
Family is family. Like I have a family. Everybody has a family watching this. What does that mean to Panasonic Well? What does family mean?
From before conception until end of life. So
Wow. So
your whole
everything. So everything.
family members are all ages, and your family is the people that are important to you. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily the people that you're blood related to or that live under your roof or what have you. Families
Oh.
look, they look very different than what we might have traditionally seen in the media.
Yeah, so it's like the wellness of that family, like how they're doing operating. What's a good example of someone of a company you've worked with recently that's like a startup that would explain that a little bit, or just be an example of it? Because like you did something cool at CES, you had like $1 million contest and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so we ran this program called the Family Wellness Innovation Challenge, and we awarded $1 million to 5 startups. And I actually think this is a really good example because so you can see it on our website. It's well.panasonic.com/challenge. It's a good example because the challenge winners were all in different aspects of family wellness. So, for example, the grand prize winner is a company called Hearth Display, which is like a connected screen. It goes on your wall That's why I'm using my hands. Like you,
Yeah, right
everyone knows
there.
this, but if you don't know me, you'll learn. I'm a big hand talker. Anyways, so
Big
there's
hand.
a connected screen that goes on the wall, and it visualizes the family calendar and what the family has upcoming, and it really helps take all of the mental load that's usually in one person's head, which usually is in mom's head, and puts it into a dynamic place where the whole family can interact with it.
Yeah.
But that's one aspect, right? Another company that won the competition is a company called Support Pay. And they were originally developed to help co-parents that are managing finances for a child or children to better communicate about finances. And then
Mm,
they realize that this is often the case as well for elder care. So oftentimes you'll have multiple siblings taking care of an older person in their family. One person might be responsible for, let's say, like the day-to-day care, like the appointments. Another person might be responsible for finances. And so, how do you like support pay is a tool that helps people communicate about that and avoid conflict in their family. So, you can see it's financial wellness, it's managing the burden of what's going on, it's your physical health. There, we had a company win that's called Mindless Play, which makes improv games, and they actually work quite a bit with people that have um, like early onset dementia,
yeah.
as improv can help with those people, help those people regain some capability. So it
Mhm.
encompasses many different aspects of life.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it's like tailor-made position for you too. Like
Yeah,
so, so, so good. And listen, you did like a what was it, a six-part, three-part or six-part series years ago. I'm talking maybe 7 years, maybe for about blockchain for our
yeah,
podcast at Backstage at the Venture Fund.
yeah,
And you were talking about AI. You've been talking about AI for years.
yeah.
So why do you think all of a sudden it is in the lexicon? It is here. Why do you think this year was its breakout year?
I think because of the release of ChatGPT, I think that's been the big breakthrough moment. And now hundreds of millions. I don't know exactly the statistic, but a lot of people are using it.
Yeah,
And
I think they
yeah,
said like it was hundreds of millions of people using it. Yeah.
yeah. But OpenAI really got started. I actually don't know exactly the year, but that was when I first started around the same time that I started following AI, which is probably their 2010s, 2015 timeframe.
Wow. Wait, they've been around that long?
I think so. I want to Google it right now. Can I
I
do
think
that?
I mean, they've been around for a long time, back when Sam Altman and Elon Musk were friends, like that long.
Okay, November 20th, 2015. So just under 10 years ago.
And that would have been when we met, right?
Yep.
So you were
Yep.
looking at AI back then, 10 years ago.
Hmm.
And it was about data. It was about big data back in the day.
Yes.
That's what we were calling it. And everybody was calling it like I have big data. And there was even a year like this Y Combinator year of data, like
Yeah.
it was that thing. And like what has surprised you about AI?
I think what has surprised me the most is how easy it is to use generative AI applications. Anybody can do it. So you mentioned I have kids. I have
Yeah,
two little kids. They're 3 and 5. And I've been vibe coding games with them.
I saw.
And my son will just like say like, can we change the color or make the avatar do this? And then we will do it in real time together. And the platform I've been using is Replit to do
Yeah.
the vibe coding. And he's 5. So I don't think if you had asked me in 2015, I don't think I would have thought like, oh, tools are going to be so easy that a small child can use them. But it's true.
Have you used Lovable yet?
No, because I tried Replit first, but
Okay.
I think they're really similar.
They are. They're very similar in what they're meant to do.
Mhm.
Lovable is even more on the aesthetics and on the user experience is even, in my opinion, even more elevated. Like I think what's happening, and I could be so wrong about this, but I think Lovable is like moving faster,
Okay.
adapting faster. So they even have like these 3D models and different things you can do. So I'm thinking if you want to just do a test on one of the games with your kids, just to
Yeah.
compare them. Because sometimes what I do is I'll have the same prompt and I'll put them side by side and just have them race each other and see what they can do. Not just for time period, but like compare it. And what happens is like if something's super complex, I go to Replit. And if
Yeah.
it's like more like I want it to look pretty or I want it to look or have certain like kind of instincts about
Yeah.
user experience, I'll go to Lovable. But they're both
Okay.
really cool.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
How did you make your, what do you call it? Your person that I can talk to that I was
Oh, my
talking
homegirl, my AI homegirl.
about, your AI homegirl. What tool did you
Okay,
use for
so
that?
I used Lovable. So AI, Arlan's AIhomegirl.com. Anybody watching this can go to it right now. And for free, you can have my homegirl, who's an AI bot, talk to you, but you can talk to it on audio. And a lot of people are using it every day. It's really fun. So what I did was I used Lovable for like the landing page.
Hmm.
And is it because I needed it to be a little like softer than what Replit would have done? I know that may not make sense if you don't use both of them a lot, but you'll start to see it really quickly. Like Replit is more like angular and kind of structured like a warehouse, and Lovable is a little bit softer with rounded edges. And I wanted that look and aesthetic for it. So I did
Okay.
that, but the big piece, like that's probably 20% of it. The big 80% is 11 labs. So with the 11, and the reason I did it, and this will help tell you how to do it, is I was flipping through and I just saw that masterclass.com masterclass has like all these bots like that, like audio bots like that. And I was like, oh, I wonder how they did that. So I looked it up. I found a video on YouTube that showed you how to do it, and then I did it the same day for me. Because it's like
Yeah.
all these people giving all their information and their wisdom and whatever. I'm like, I want to do that. So 11 Labs actually has a conversational chat bot or something to that effect. If you look up 11 Labs and
Okay.
conversational, and it has its own section, and you either feed it your voice and make a voice clone, or you can select a voice. And their voice clones are even better than they used to be, which was really great. And then it has a whole section where you can just feed it, just like you would do with the custom GPT, you feed it a knowledge base.
Hmm.
And I updated it, as certain things were pressure tested, I updated it and did this. Like it didn't know that, it didn't know certain things about me. And I was like, okay, we got to add that. And then you can say what language model you want it to use. So you can choose OpenAI or Claude or whatever, and then it'll use that for some of the things it doesn't know. Then I took all of the embedded stuff, like you get all this stuff you can embed, and I put it over on Lovable, and I kind of created my own button because I wanted the button to feel a little bit like you're pressing it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I had to connect my API with it because it's doing something where it's taking some information, so I had to connect it. But it wasn't difficult. I know it sounds a little bit because I'm not explaining it very well.
I mean, it does, yeah, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about anybody who's watching, anybody can do this. Probably took me 2 hours to really get it to where I wanted it, and then maybe, 15 minutes a couple of days after that to fix it. But then, right now, you do have to pay for it. So here's the thing. The person who makes it has to pay for the time being used. So that's the only thing you want to consider if you're thinking
Okay.
about doing one. If you think a lot of people will use it, it may go over your monthly allotment. And
Well,
I'm doing that right now because I just think it is incredibly helpful. Like while I'm asleep, somebody can just have a conversation, learn something, or watch my YouTube videos or whatever, read a book. It's kind of cool to think that, even after you're gone, it's still there in so many different ways. I think that's the biggest breakthrough I've seen is,
yes.
is that part.
I think back in the day, like 10 years ago, there was this blog post that went viral, and I can't remember exactly what the situation was, but I think it was somebody that tried to recreate their an elder person in their family that had passed away, tried to create a chat bot from that person's
Oh,
writings, and they were able to create a chat bot and interact with them. And I remember reading that story and thinking like this is the future. And then now even seeing like what you described is not as easy that my 5-year-old could do it, but it's
no.
easy enough to learn. Adults could do it.
Anybody who can like start a Facebook page or do something like that could do this.
Yes. So we all can have a digital legacy, or I guess we will all have a digital legacy.
Yeah, I mean, and I do this for business,
Hmm.
and it has like its purpose. So I do it for I want people to be able to learn from me, but I also do it because it helps. Like if you ask it 3 or 4 questions, if you're really engaging with it, and it starts to understand your business needs, it'll start to recommend something that I offer. So it'll say, you've been asking a lot about YouTube. Arlen has a YouTube course, right?
Ah,
It kind of has that to it too, because this whole channel is about making more money, having more freedom in your life, and
mhm.
doing things that so you don't have to like, you know, do some crazy stuff and spend a ton of money to be able to make money. Speaking
Yes.
of business, I'm seeing you on LinkedIn, and I'm why do you laugh at that?
Because I pretend to myself that nobody will see it when I
Oh
post.
yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
seeing it. No, I see it. I see it on LinkedIn, and well, first of all, you've really figured out how to use LinkedIn Shorts, like the vertical videos on LinkedIn that a lot of people don't take advantage of. So you're kind of treating it like TikTok a little bit,
Mhm.
but you're doing it for the LinkedIn crowd, and a lot of people on LinkedIn don't know how to do that, so it's getting attention. So I think that's really cool. And then you're also like tracking and documenting your use of AI in
Mhm.
your business setting. Why are you documenting your use of AI in business?
So the reason why is because I struggle with this belief that I'm not technical or maybe not smart enough, even though I know, like, I knew you were gonna give me that look. Like
I called you a computer like 8 years ago,
that
right?
was my nickname. But I think the thing is like maybe if I unwind it a little bit, a lot of times when you see this AI content, it seems intimidating.
Mm.
And there are a lot of people out there that are making buzzworthy things like make $1 million with AI in an hour, what have you.
Yep.
But if you
Vibe code.
actually like go through and try to follow all their steps, which I have tried to do, you realize it falls apart and then you're kind of lost.
It's
And
like
so
homework. It's like homework. A lot
exactly.
of those. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm a leader of a team, so I have people that report to me. I work at an AI company, and I think it's my responsibility to understand how these tools are progressing so that I can use them for work, help my team better understand them, make sure that I'm contributing. Also, it's a little fear motivated. Like you've seen some of these quotes, which are like that people are going to be replaced by AI. And so I think to myself, at least let me know what's replacing me.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there was all these reasons why I want to learn better. And I decided to start posting about it because I thought if I post about it publicly, it holds me accountable to it. So I
Mhm.
told my team every week in our team meeting, I'm going to go around and ask everybody how you used AI this week. And there's no wrong answer. And then I'll take the learnings and I'll put it in a post. And so it's been so fun because, for example, I had one of my people on my team who went to Bottle Rock in Napa.
Yeah. Yeah.
This person lives in Southern California, and so she used AI as a stylist. She used ChatGPT, and ChatGPT looked at all of the weather and then planned all of her outfits for her, and even told her, like, take a sweater with you at 3 o'clock. It's going to be kind of windy.
Wow. So Bottle Rock, if you're not familiar, is like a music festival. It's a really great music and food festival and wine festival. And amazing. That's amazing. Like I can see people doing that one at a time and saying, "Oh, what should I wear?" or this or that. But to just kind of say, especially with agents now, you could do this whole thing where it's like going to do that for you automatically for the day. Check the weather. Based on the weather and what you know about the knowledge base of my closet, then tell me every morning at 7:30 a.m. what my dot dot dot, that's me. You're probably up at 5:30, but every morning so at 11 a.m. let me know what I'm supposed to wear. But that's so cool. So that was somebody on your team that did that.
Yes. And so ChatGPT for her created an entire packing list and told her what to pack for the weekend and then what she would be wearing each day. At the same time, that same week, somebody else on my team had figured out how to use, they actually were using Claude. At work, we have a partnership with Anthropic, and
Okay.
they used Claude to do some deep research and analysis on a project we were working on. So, and sometimes it is really deeply specific to our business, but a lot of times it's more of these lighthearted use cases where we're just getting familiar with the tools. And so I'll post about them. And
Yeah.
it's been fun. Like some of it is meal planning, and then other things are, like I posted that we used. So last year when we ran the startup competition, I was struggling because I wanted to use AI tools, an agent tool to analyze all of the applications because the applications are in a form of unstructured data that's really hard for me to analyze. And I actually manually went back and created a spreadsheet with hundreds of rows by copying and pasting. This was back last year. And then even still, I don't have the analysis I want to do. So I tried to fix it. Then I posted on LinkedIn that I couldn't figure it out. And then another person inside of my company, whose name is Yuri, reached out to me and said, I think we can solve this with a Python script. And she ran it on Claude, created a Python script and took that to Cursor. And then now I have all of my information in a spreadsheet that I can easily use. And
Well,
I
that's a little advanced though, right? So
it
like,
is, but she made a loom of it,
oh,
like
okay.
walking through all the steps. And then she gave me permission to post that.
Oh,
I'm
so
trying to just learn and share.
even if we don't know Python, we could do it. You think?
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
Python.
just
I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know if you did. Okay, so she did it, but she
Yeah,
showed you exactly. She showed us exactly how to use it. And
exactly.
then, is she a coder?
No.
So a non-coder taught a non-coder how to show other non-coders how to make this thing happen, this magical thing happen a year later. Like, can you imagine what a year from now we'll be looking at, like able to do and kind of almost laughable what we do now manually, like it's interesting. I wonder your thoughts though on the other side. There's another side to it, but the side where the CEO of Fiverr tells all the Fiverr workers, "Hey, you gotta watch out because you're going to be
Mhm.
replaced if you don't figure this out." Do you look at that and say, here at Panasonic, well, we need to stay really on the cutting edge?
I try to liken it in my mind to other technological advances. So before there was cars, for example, I mean, I wasn't alive then, but I would imagine that there were a lot of people riding horses.
Millennial.
Represent. Um, like there were a lot of people that had businesses around that and in that industry, and then that industry dried up. Same thing in like typewriters or
Yeah.
so I just try to think like it's not to me, it's not so much the fear of my exact job going away. It's more of the fear of not understanding what these tools are and what their implications are because I find them exciting. And then
Yeah.
when you can learn them and see what's possible, it's like, oh wow, I can drive a lot farther in a day with a car than I could theoretically ride a horse. Your girl, like I don't ride horses, but
Yeah, but
like
I understand. So, like I said, I use this example a lot of times on this channel where I say back when Instagram used to be bourbon. Do you remember that? When it was
yes,
called bourbon with no O?
no vowels.
Yeah, no vowels, bourbon. And photographers were freaking out. They're like, it's the end of it's the end of our art, basically. If anybody can take any picture and filter it, then what do we need it for? And instead, what happened is that you just have this great place great, I'm going to use that as a broad topic. We're not going to get into meta, but this great place to showcase your art. And in fact, it gets your art in front of people. So a lot of people made a lot more and had more opportunities and had more fans than they would have ever. So that's
Hmm.
one way to look at AI is that if you don't cower in the corner and shield your eyes from it, you might be able to catch that wave right at the right time and make the opportunities of a lifetime. There's
Hmm.
another way to look at it, though, to say it is in a lot of ways like the past with these technical innovations, but it's also like nothing else we've ever experienced.
Hmm.
And you've heard that from so many people who have been through all of those, who have been to the ones, out of modern day. And in that way, it is that it's happening so quickly, and that the disparities between the haves and the have-nots may be so, I want to say bifurcated, but I don't know if that's the right term in this
I
case.
think it is.
Yeah, it might be so split in that, another word, chasm, maybe so much larger than it has been before. And so I spend hours, tens of hours a week just studying all the cases. And then you have the data centers that are like in the black neighborhoods of certain states, and then this and that and the other. There's so much to take on when you like all I want to do is go on and have it like make a song for me.
Hmm.
And but then if I go have it make a song for me, then I have to think about pollution, global warming, artists, IP. I have to think about more morality and like I just kind of just want to
Yeah.
play.
Hmm.
And then there's so much there. So I guess this is okay, I'm gonna distill it. I think this is what it's like to be a white man. Just trying to say like a cuss word in a song while they're singing along to Jay-Z. That's all they're trying to do. All they want to all they want to do is just play. And we're over here just being woke as we want to be.
I think that's one way you could look at it.
There's really no question in that question. But I guess my okay, so my question there is Are you looking at it like I want to just enjoy the good part while it lasts, or are you like, do you have any dread when it comes to AI?
So what you mentioned about the bifurcation, I think is a real problem, and it's going to continue to be. And ultimately, I think that systemic problems need systemic solutions.
Hmm.
And even if we think about Instagram, so you said we wouldn't get into Meta, but I think we could
I
recognize.
can't. Like I don't have a boss. You can talk about whatever you like.
Well, I think the point, so if we think about Instagram, the point you were making was that there was fear from photographers, which was valid.
Yeah, back in the day.
And then now what we see is, I think photography has had a bit of a resurgence, and
Mhm.
Instagram has helped to drive that in some ways. But there's other more nefarious things that have happened from Instagram, like this study that has shown about young teenage girls. I think there was like some manipulation of their emotions, and they were shown ads for certain things and so forth. And so
Mm.
I think maybe that's an example of the things that we're immediately afraid of are not the real dangers.
Oh,
So
it's like a shell game.
a little bit, like, because what we can draw a direct line to might not actually be the implication of the technology. And what can be scary about that is that if you don't have systemic controls for this kind of technology, then you open yourself up to it. And in our society, I think we have every reason to believe that we're set up for some of the same problems that we've seen with other scaling technologies before.
Yeah, some shenanigans.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Christy, there is a word, and it's about this topic. There is a word I have been trying to find, and I had a almost 2 hour interview with who's considered the Oprah of AI. I had multiple interviews about AI, and every time I have it, I try to find the word or have them help me, and they can't. I wonder if the magic is still there, and you can help me find this
What
word.
is it?
Okay, so it is just we're talking about like the way that we can basically put guardrails or have more guardrails around AI so that we have a longer
Mhm.
period of time where this is a good thing rather than a just terrible thing. And there's what I'm saying is that this is a really interesting opportunity for like a group of people that they don't have necessarily to be young, but they just need to be kind of different to be whatever the word is for who makes those policies happen. So it's like someone who's like going to stand at the town hall and who's someone who's going to go and like fight, advocate for it in
Mhm.
Washington and just say that that's their role. That's their job is to fight for the guardrails around AI.
Mhm.
And I think that's like like I think that there are people right now who are like 16 to 60, and more, who could spend the next couple of years making that their goal to become that. You
Mhm.
know what I'm talking about? It's like someone who is like an advocate, but that's their role.
Like a governing body, like a CTIA or a
Like they're
CTA.
part of it. They're part
Mhm.
of a governing body, but they're the one person. Like it's not what Jessica Chastain was in that one movie about gun control. I'm my mother now. I have turned into her.
I
Girl in that one movie about that bald-headed boy. You know, it's not
Um,
her. She was a lobbyist.
yeah,
It's
lobbyist.
like it's kind of like the one that doesn't do, I guess it's like a lobbyist, but I think there's a lot of like money that changes hands in those situations. I'm
Mhm.
talking about the one who's like, what? Okay,
Like a consortium,
it's what Obama used to be.
a community organizer,
Yeah,
president.
but it's not that. Yeah. If you guys want to try to become president, that'd be super cool of you. Because we really appreciate that right now. No, I guess we're still there. There was an episode of Good Times where somebody came to the house and he was one.
Right.
So of course, now you know. You know what I should do? I should say all of this to ChatGPT and then it'll probably figure it out. But my whole point of this is that I think there's an incredible opportunity whenever I get really scared about AI. I
Mhm.
think about actually there is a group of people, there are a group of people, and we should all play our part for sure, but that there are a group of people where this will be their entire life's work is putting those guardrails into place. I would hope, and I
Mhm.
believe it's possible. So that's why I kind of want to know the name of it. Let me ask you this, and then I'll go back to the TikTok of LinkedIn.
Okay.
Do you use when you use ChatGPT, do you ever do the audio version where you just talk to it and it talks to
I
you?
haven't yet, but have you tried Whisperflow?
No.
I haven't tried that either, but I'm
What
like,
is Whisperflow?
it is an audio tool for AI, and I saw a demo of it, and I have a list of tools that I want to try. It's on my list, and you just
Oh,
talk to it, and
yeah.
apparently you can just download, like dump all these unrelated thoughts in, and then it helps you. I don't know.
I
It's
feel like one of our AI presidents, Nicole McCain, I think she may have mentioned this at one point. I'll take a closer look at it. But I've
okay.
just been having some fun. After I had Nikki Saunders on, who does like she's so cool. By the way, okay, and there's a lot of thoughts here, but Nikki Saunders is so cool. You probably want to have her at Panasonic
Okay.
because she's like she teaches all about AI and content. Those are her two main pillars, but she
Mhm.
does it from such a relatable place and she just has a certain style and it's just like like she would be the person to have the homegirl as the thing, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just such a smart way she does it. But she did a demonstration on our call, and not only did she have it talking, she was talking to ChatGPT, which I started doing immediately after that. I always do it
Mhm.
now. But she had trained it to have she's Puerto Rican and black, and she's from New York, from the Bronx. So she
Mhm.
trained it to have that somebody from her neighborhood talking to her, basically, with the voice.
Oh,
So the
cool.
accent is so cool, and it's just like, yeah, we're doing this, whatever. I'm not gonna try to do it because that would be offensive, but it's so cool. So I've just been doing that, and I highly recommend it to anybody who hasn't tried it yet. There's, of course, you can do it where you say out loud and then it types what you say and then it does it. But
That's
this
what I thought you meant.
no, this is where you talk to it and it talks
And
back
it talks
to you.
back to you.
Yeah, I like if you go here, let me see if I can make it happen real quick. Hey, I'm demonstrating you and I want to show my friend Christy Pitts what you do. Do you know Christy Pitts, who used to be at Backstage Capital and is now at Panasonic? Oh, that's awesome. I do know of Christy Pitts from Backstage Capital. It's great that she's now at Panasonic. If you want to show her what I can do, I'd be happy to help with anything you both need or any questions you have.
Wow.
That's
Ooh, are you
crazy.
listening?
Can you describe Christy? Like, what do you know about her? Well, I know Christy was a partner at Backstage Capital working alongside you, and now she's doing some great things over at Panasonic. She has a strong background in supporting underrepresented founders and is just an all around awesome person. Kudos to her. Correct. Correct. Can you do like a certain accent? Like if I wanted you to have an accent from someone who was from North Texas, could you do that? I can definitely try to do a little North Texas twang for you. Just let me know if this is sounding right or if you want me to tweak it a bit. Try Mississippi. Let's do Mississippi instead and give me the State of the Union. I mean, state of what is like the Gettysburg Address. Say it with the Mississippi accent. I'll give it a shot with a bit of a Mississippi drawl. Here we go. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Hopefully, that gives you the vibe you were looking for. It does. Thank you. Bye. You're
Okay.
welcome. It was fun chatting with you. Take care and have a great day.
That's amazing. It sounds like a person.
Yeah, and it has like seven options. And you
Okay.
can't use it constantly. You get a certain amount if you're on the pro plan, but if you have the other plan, you can use it all you want. But yeah, that's crazy.
That's cool. I'm gonna
Nikki
check
did
that.
that, but she had her whole vibe, right? And so I just been doing that. And it's especially if you don't want to sit there and type everything or whatever, it's really great to just flow. So I did like one for like 30 minutes and got some great feedback. It's also really good if you're like if you're anxious, if you're an anxious person, it helps. Like, if you're having
Hi,
something,
it's me.
it kind of soothes you. So it's kind of like my AI homegirl, but that's trained on very specific things.
Yeah.
So this is like trained on whatever ChatGPT is trained on.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. So the LinkedIn TikTok thing, are you what are you pulling from there? Like just doing it for fun or you have any kind of goals with that?
So I found that when I create a video, it's a forcing function for pulling out the top points of something. And
Hmm.
one of the great things about my job is that I get to consume a ton of content. I go to conferences, I read a lot of reports about different parts of wellness, And a lot of the information that I consume, I think is helpful to share. I feel like other people would know, would like to know it. And so that's kind of the theme of what I've been doing is if I see something like, for example, last week I made a video about the big beautiful bill, which I have all kinds of feelings about that bill, but in the bill there was which are negative feelings just for the record.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the bill, though, there was some new provisions to support childcare costs for parents with young children, and some of those have not been updated since 1986.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that information, I thought, wow, I'm not really seeing, I didn't, I felt like I found the information and I didn't see a lot of people talking about it. And so,
Because most people haven't read the 700 pages of it, even those who voted for it. But continue.
correct. And
You
confirm.
found this kind of like hidden treasure
Yes,
in all the mud of it all because it was like they passed a lot of things that were only beneficial to rich people and their friends. But with 700 pages, there are some good things that people were able to get in there because it was some Democrats had some stuff to do with it, some Republicans had some stuff to do with it. So you found four loopholes? Is that how you would say it or?
they were specifically like tax breaks or provisions to help parents of young children, but also small businesses that employ parents.
Oh,
And I thought, okay, this is interesting. I'm gonna make a video out of it.
yeah.
Another example is I got to go to the Women's Alzheimer Movement Forum, which is when I'm telling you, I was so amazed by what I learned there. So the biggest thing that I learned that scared me is that women are the majority of Alzheimer's patients, and for a long time, it was the belief was that that's because women live longer, but in reality, women are actually getting diagnosed at an earlier age, and
Mhm.
changes in the brain that lead to Alzheimer's start 2 to 3 decades before you become symptomatic to the point where you can get diagnosed. In other words, it's like it's like my age right now. Like what I'm doing right now can determine whether or not I'm on the path to developing Alzheimer's. So when
Yeah.
I learned that,
What's your age so people can relate? What do they know? What is it?
39,
30.
39, about to be 40. I'll be 40 in September.
I'm so happy you're here, Christy. Like you get to be 40. You get to be
Oh,
39.
exciting.
It's so young. I mean, honestly, it's just so young.
Yes.
It's almost like when people are like 25 or 30 years old. That's how I feel about like 39 is such a baby.
Well,
But you're saying that this is the time that scientists
yeah.
now know, or doctors now know that things are starting to happen. Is there anything that we can see?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, see, you might not be able to see, but it's behavioral, it's your behavior and how you take care of your body in your 30s and 40s that is determines almost like half of your chance.
Mm,
And so when I learned this, I thought like, there's maybe what, 100 people in this room that are learning this information, or maybe they already know this information. Like, let me see if I can share this information more broadly.
yeah.
And so that's kind of my thought behind these videos. And then, all right, so I'm a little bit of a LinkedIn addict. I'm not necessarily proud of it. A lot of people are using LinkedIn on mobile, and a lot of people on LinkedIn mobile are watching videos. And it's
Yeah.
a bit of a substitute for TikTok. And so that's something else that's interesting is that um, even though I mainly use LinkedIn on my computer, most people are interacting with it on their phones. And so that's another reason why I've been making videos.
I mean, their shorts product has grown so much and quietly. Like a lot of people are sleeping on LinkedIn to begin with, but a lot of people are sleeping on the vertical because it does act like all the others where you can flip
Mhm.
through it. And because there are fewer people adding content to it, it's actually higher quality content. And it's like every time you flip, it's actually quite interesting.
Yes. And I think there's a higher bar because sometimes I'll make videos like for TikTok or Instagram and it feels more like playing, it feels like fun.
Yeah.
When I come to LinkedIn, I'm like, all right, I better give a report.
Yeah.
Or get
I think if
information
you keep
helpful.
that up for the next 12 months, there will be an incredible story there of some like major there because you're essentially you're at the front lines early days of something that's going to be like kind of, ubiquitous and common in a year or two. People are going to be like, "Oh yeah, we do that. We put up our shorts, we put up this, we put up that." But right now you're not. And somehow YouTube feels like that to me. That's where I get in the lab, like literally the lab.
Nice. Love
I
it.
get in the lab and it's like, oh, there's so much here that
Yeah.
people are not seeing. So cool. Yeah, LinkedIn. And then you get to be in front of potential partners and potential collaborators and potential small businesses who you want to work with and startups who you want to work with, right? Yeah, what is that main goal of yours in your role? Like, what is success in your role?
Yes. So success is creating the ecosystem of companies that are working on solving family wellness, problems related to family wellness. And there's thousands of companies out there because there's so many things that affect families, and families are made up of all different relationships. So I feel when I think about my success personally, it's about helping create and recognize the market opportunity, that this is one vertical, and that all of these things that have been fragmented and disregarded, like, oh, this is only a product for parents of young children. Well, that person who's a parent of young children is also caring for an older adult, and they're in the middle of their career. And so actually that one person is at the intersection of all of these different forces. So we're creating this ecosystem. We have about a little fewer than 40 partners right now, and my goal is to grow that tremendously. So that's mainly what I talk about on LinkedIn is AI and then things related to family wellness. And that's why I brought up childcare, but also Alzheimer's and women, because women's health is family health. So that's what I'm usually talking about there.
When you say partners, you mean like collaborators that are either really well known, like Calm, or ones that you're finding like surfacing, diamonds in the rough type. Is that?
It's like everything from startups to big companies,
Yeah.
and also research institutions and nonprofits. So I mentioned AARP.
Yeah.
Another nonprofit that's in the collaborative is the National Sleep Foundation. And
Mm.
then we actually, a new partner is Project Play from the Aspen Institute, which is focused on helping young people in the US access sports and play more organized sports. So it's really wide.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. You know that I co-founded a sports league tournament and we do a lot of stuff with youth and I love how it all relates because we just got the dates for the 2028 Olympics. And it seems far off 3 years from now, like this week, 3 years from now, but it's gonna be there in no time. Like 2022 was 3 years ago.
I have a gap in my brain because I think 2019 was last year.
Oh, yeah. You know what that is gonna be like that's probably like trauma.
Motherhood.
Yeah, no, it's probably your mind protecting you. Like 20, when I started this conversation, I said we've built through a lot. 2019, like 2020 to 2022 or 2023 was really tough, like to be a human.
Word.
So that's probably why you're like, yeah, everything's cool. 2019, nothing to see here.
That's
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like that. I mean, it was just
yeah.
so tough. But then I think about it, and I was at the airport yesterday and every other day in the last 5 days. But I was at the airport and I was the only person wearing a mask.
Mm.
And I'm like, the people, we don't have like the major pandemic going, but we still have people who will just sneeze all up in your face without even a thought about it and do
Mhm.
it multiple times and kind of want sympathy for it. I need y'all to cover your mouths and I need y'all to sit down.
And wash your hands.
Wash your hands all the time. I'm wearing a mask. Do you see like anything, I guess, because you're in wellness, is
Mhm.
there anything that is just like top of mind for you when it comes to that? Or is it just all the kind of siloed things that you see, or is like this big thing that we may be missing?
So it's interesting because a lot of people that I work with have a wellness background and they've been working in this industry for a long time. And so some of them are like medical, and then it goes all the way to people that are like in nutrition and fitness. I don't think of myself like that. And so a lot of things that I think might be foundational for them, I'm just learning. So for example, what I mentioned a few moments ago about women and Alzheimer's, it's the choices that I'm making today about what I'm eating, whether or not I'm moving, whether or not I'm sleeping, that all add up over the course of a lifetime that help to determine the outcome. And
Mm.
that is so hard to wrap my mind around because I still want to be human and just have like this magic pill that fixes it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm learning about consistency and behavior change and how important it is and how impactful it can be for your quality of life. And I'm learning about it, I see it for other people, and then I'm trying to adopt it. And those are two completely different journeys.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like describes every doctor you know. It's like that we know what's best for us because we've studied it. Not we, the doctor, but you know what I mean. The doctor, they know what's best for them because they study it, but it's still hard. It's like, oh, I'm also human. I'm gonna do what I want to do, basically.
Right.
But you know, when you talk about the Alzheimer's, I know there's somebody who's still watching. If you're still watching right now, write the word notes, Notes, in the comments to let us know that's the keyword to let us know that you made it to this part of the video. But if they're still watching and they're like, I want to know like the details of the Alzheimer's thing that you
Yes.
talked about, or I want to know this other thing you talked about. Do they find it all on your LinkedIn? Is it still like posted there? Or is that what
Yes.
you're doing? Okay, so how do they find you on LinkedIn?
Christy Pitts, you'll see me.
Yeah,
Um,
how do you
I
spell it?
say my headline is working to enable family wellness.
And then you're on there every week, kind of sharing your whole world, holistically, I think, with what you're doing, something for a little bit of something for everybody. And is there like a main takeaway that you want us to have?
If you work at a company that's working on something related to family wellness and you'd like to be a partner, please reach out to me. Or if you go to our website, well.panasonic.com, you can see there's a link to partners. We do events all the time, virtual events called the Business of Family Wellness. So come check it out. Get in touch with me. I'd love to talk to you and have you be a part of our effort.
And that's like all sizes, as long as they have some traction.
Yeah, it really is. It's not so much about size, it's more about what they're working on and then who we already have in the collective and whether or not it's in one of the areas that we focus on.
Wow, that's amazing. And then what if we're consumers? We don't have a small business related to that, but we still want to participate. Should we be looking at your LinkedIn, or is there anything on the Panasonic website that you think we'd find interesting?
Yes. So definitely check out joinumi.com because that's where Umi will be coming out. That was the agentic coach I mentioned earlier. Or just come follow me on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
I'm not
how do you
quiet.
how do you spell Umi?
UMI.
UMI. Oh, okay. Excellent. Awesome. This was so fun. Thank you, Christy.